Dr. Keith here. I was known back in the 80s as the world's #1 allergy detective, mostly food allergies, I've got to say. I was part of a small band, pioneer band of doctors around the world, very few of us, less than 10 doing it, I think, full time for a living back in those days. And we really got to grips with just how important food intolerance and food allergy reactions are. They can be highly inflammatory and they can produce tremendous changes in a person's health. And what we came to realize was a very interesting principle of nutrition. See, most people think of bad nutrition as things you're missing, that you're not getting, but you need them. And what we found was it's far more important things that you're eating that you shouldn't be, the opposite vector. And we used to call that food allergies. These days we've got smarter, we understand it's more complex than that. It has to do with things like leaky gut, things appearing in the bloodstream that shouldn't, and what we call delayed hypersensitivity responses, and rather more complex mechanisms, of which by far the most important is bowel flora, the microbiome down in your gut. Modern research in the last 10 years or so has shown that changing your diet within 6 hours will produce a change in your bowel flora. So when we used to say things like give up wheat or dairy and the person got well very quickly, often really dramatically, and we look pretty good as doctors, but in fact it was probably more to do with the fact that the bowel flora changed quite quickly. And so they felt better. And if the person went back to eating wheat and dairy, very quickly the disturbed microbiome reappeared. Anyway, those were great pioneer days. The story is much more widely known now, although I think there's still far too much emphasis on casein and gluten. It can be anything. For example, I had a child who was very allergic to anything from the carrot family. Carrots, celery, parsnip. That family of foods would cause epilepsy in this child. Another woman was sick nearly unto death with allergy to lettuce. She was really sick and had colitis and blood in her stools. Because she was so sick, she kept eating salad. She was conscientious. I'll eat healthy food, I'll eat good salads. But in fact, the only food that made her ill was lettuce, which is quite surprising to many. Not to me, because the lettuce family, the composites, can be quite strong. There are mustards in that family. So changing what you eat is of great importance. And as I said, in those days, what we found was so important was not what you're missing that you should be having, but more a question of what you're having that you shouldn't be having. And if you concentrate on that, you can get far bigger shifts in health issues and health emphasis. Big improvement. Now, I'm recording this video from my good friend Lisa Best. Lisa really is the best. She's got this story. She understands it. She works directly out of my book, Diet-Wise, so I know she's on the case, and you can trust her. Lisa knows what she's doing. All right, thank you. Take care.